Well, we got a great guest in studio here now at
Yes, we do.
8:09, and it's Jeromy Hicks from the North Mason Regional Fire Authority. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I am well. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We talk with you monthly here as you do some business down in the southern part of Mason County. We have been talking about, well, first things first, let's get to the fun stuff. Saw some great pictures from your awards banquet that you recently had.
Yeah, so we every year, and it's the awards banquet for 2017, and for some reason it keeps getting pushed out. But pretty soon we're going to have this awards banquet in summer.
It'll be a biennial awards banquet every 2 years.
We end up we had it in March down at the Alderbrook. The Firefighters Association and the local get together and kind of help fund this, and we had some great awards this year. We've had a really good year this year in our fire district, and we sent out a bunch of nomination forms, and we kind of categorized it with all our different levels of our organization. We have the CRT members, community response team members, that really are in the communities and know the community members themselves. Then we have the volunteers that really support the career staff and running calls and help us out there. And then we have kind of the career staff that, works there day in and day out. And we this year we kind of categorize that. Not saying that, one group's better than the other group, but just everybody works together. But this is how they line out. And so we had a CRT member of the year, Woody Flynn, which is hopefully he's listening this morning. He's a great guy out there in the TRV area. Dalton Crabtree was our volunteer of the year resident, been a resident for 2 years now, and is on that path to become a career member.
Oh, wow.
And then Donovan Arnold got the career member of the year.
Nice.
He's very strong in our local, and he's in our cohort.
Remember that when I see
leadership
him on
group.
Saturday.
With that being said, the chief gives out a couple awards, and he's only supposed to give one, but trying to get the chief to only give one award to his entire 100 people.
That's got to be tough.
It has to be tough, and he said, "I'm not doing it this year." So I said, "Okay, yes, sir." And Laura Fries, which is in our cohort, got the Chief's Award for the outstanding work that she's doing, not only in the leadership group that we're in, but she's also going for a Master's of Public Administration and doing a lot of stuff with our local. Wow. And then Chief Cooper, our assistant chief, got the other Chief Award, and that was a surprise because we didn't even know who the awards were going out to. So Chief Cooper's worked really hard this year on kind of bringing things together in our organization. So then the last award that we have is the Mike Green, former Chief Mike Green, the late Chief Mike Green award, and we put a special criteria on that. And the members of the organization were even nominated, and they nominated Captain Erzman, which is normally a huge community member in the North Mason area. He's a chiropractor there, but he also works for our organization.
Nice.
So he got those were our awards, and
Very
it
cool.
was a fun night. It was a really good time.
Huh?
Yeah.
I recognize some well-deserved people got those awards.
Let's go to the volunteers. Let's talk about those for a second. How many volunteers in the North Mason Regional Fire? You think you know that there?
You know what? I would say, with considering our if we were to lump our CRT members and our volunteers together, I'd say somewhere around 50 to 60 volunteers that are there in their communities. The volunteers also incorporates kind of what we call our residents. And the residents are the ones that are kind of on the career path that are, the volunteers are the ones in the community. They work all day long, and then they say, you know what, we're going to respond to calls at night and help our community. Those are really the backbone.
Wow.
And then you have the residents that live at the fire station on shift, and they're kind of like, we want to be a firefighter. We want the training. They're there for the experience, and we have spots for 6 of those. And we're right at that level now. Every once in a while, one drops off because we get them hired. Our goal is to get them hired. In 2 years, we don't want to see them anymore. We want them working for a fire department somewhere. And we have a really good ratio getting our residents hired, which is good.
Great.
That's awesome.
Great training program.
That's awesome. We are gearing up as things eventually, I would imagine, that will start to dry out a little, Vicki, and the weather will eventually get nicer. So we got to talk fire safety.
We do. Well, and Vicky's here, she's from down in the warm area, so
She knows what's going on.
I always have to bring something for her in here.
That's right.
No, so starting April 15th, we're still going to have the land clearing burns, but that kind of changes things a little bit. You have to have water trucks on site and all that, so that's coming up here pretty quick. So just a caution to those people that are getting their permits are going to have to start forecasting that. And this is kind of the time where people go, well, we're either going to burn these big piles or we're not.
Right.
And with that being said, it's also this time start where we do recreational fires. People are going out cooking s'mores, having small campfires. So I just really encourage people to go to our website or the county's website or your fire district's website. Look at those outdoor burning regulations and how those work. This year, we've always really had a hard time, and we kind of use duct tape to fix things throughout the years of what the burn ban looks like, and we're governed by a couple. We have federal land in our county. We have state land, Department of Natural Resource land. Then we have county land, and then you have the city.
Oh, Lord.
So we're kind of getting together this year. It started, this week. We're gonna hopefully get together and put out like this universal message, like, hey, if you live in these areas, this is kind of the rules and the regulations.
And I just learned about the burn ban and stuff when I first moved out here. Didn't know anything about that. So.
And Chief Mike Patty, he's the city of Shelton Fire Marshal and also does a lot in the county he's integral in the south end of the county of coming up with that. But he does a really good job communicating that in the south. I do a really good job communicating in the north. DNR does a really good job on Department of Natural Resource area. But we having a universal message or one place where people could go, because it really confuses the citizens, especially our citizens that like to live in North Mason and recreate in South Mason. They go, wait a minute, what? I'm on DNR land. So we're working with DNR, and we've always worked really well with DNR. This year it's just like, let's try to figure out a way to craft that message so it's easy for the average citizen to understand this very complicated. And it is, because I don't understand it. I'm in the business, and sometimes I don't understand it.
Can I burn or not burn?
Just tell me.
To burn or not burn?
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
So we're going to be working on that. That's kind of our big project coming up. We have a new director of community services, Dave Wyndham, which I know has probably been in here before.
Oh yeah, Dave's great.
Very, very well versed on wildland stuff. Actually, it was kind of shocked last year when he came in, because he came in just before the burn ban season. That's always the rough time for the director of community services. But he came from Eastern Washington, and he started talking about 10-hour fuels and relative humidity of the. And I'm like, wow,
I like this guy. I know this guy. I like this guy already.
Smokes, where does that happen? So that's how all that stuff gets determined, and we're going to be working on that. And kind of a question answer thing for citizens, because it's really easy to say there's a burn ban on, but people go, well, wait a minute, it's raining. And the lands commissioner does this every once in a while, where they'll put a statewide burn ban on because of the fire conditions in Eastern Washington. But you're standing over here, and weather like we're having right now, going, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why is there a burn ban on? So we got to be able to articulate those answers a little bit better to people versus just saying you can't burn. So we're gonna have a big campaign this year.
Because I like a good burner, outside, and especially the summertime. I've got one.
Following all the rules, of course. Right?
I actually brought one from California, but of course I will. I'm going to call you personally. Can I burn?
Jeromy Hicks from the North Mason Regional Fire Authority at northmasonrfa.com. It is always good seeing you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And you have a good rest of your day here.